Hello, everyone. Last week, the entire world was abuzz with discussion over the cancellation of the long-awaited premiere of Disney's Snow White, which was scheduled to take place in London in a lavish atmosphere, complete with a red carpet and all the pomp and circumstance. From the very first reports, it seemed that canceling the event was an attempt by the company to minimize the negative fallout associated with the impending failure of the film. However, as it turns out, there is a far more complex and intriguing conflict at play behind this decision, one that is gradually gaining momentum. At the center of the discussions are the leading stars of the upcoming remake, Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot. Rumors had previously surfaced suggesting that things were not going well between them, but recent events have only confirmed the presence of a deep-seated rivalry. This very conflict became the reason behind the cancellation of the Snow White premiere in the United Kingdom, where instead of the usual star-studded ceremony, only tightly controlled press screenings were planned. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so right now. And don't forget to hit that like button to support us and stay updated with the latest news and analysis. As we recall, last week Disney unexpectedly announced the cancellation of the official London premiere. The initial explanation centered on fears of negative reactions from both the press and the public. In today's media landscape, even the smallest misstep can quickly escalate into a major scandal. However, as new details emerged, it became clear that the real reason for the cancellation was much deeper and linked to an internal battle between the two lead actresses. It all began when, after the release of the first trailer, Rachel Zegler started actively thanking her fans while also expressing bold political views on social media, including the slogan, "Free Palestine." Such statements instantly ignited a storm of debate online. Some viewers welcomed her boldness, while others criticized the actress for inappropriately inserting herself into political debates, especially considering that this was supposed to be a fairy tale film rather than a political manifesto. It's important to note that, according to the latest online sources, many American social media users and bloggers voiced their opinions on the matter, further fanning the flames of an already heated situation. There were also sharp remarks directed at Rachel Zegler from her on-set colleague Gal Gadot. Although Gal Gadot had long refrained from making any public statements regarding the conflict, recent events forced her to take a noticeable stance. At one of the recent award events related to the Best Visual Effects category, the two actresses appeared so detached from one another that the audience immediately noticed a palpable lack of chemistry in their interaction. For those of you in the USA, you might be interested to know that this situation is being actively discussed on popular American forums and news outlets. So be sure to subscribe to stay in the loop with the latest updates. On the globally broadcast ceremony stage, the actresses looked as if each preferred their own solitude, clearly demonstrating that an icy rivalry existed between them. Many body language experts and professional analysts noted that the lack of eye contact and the significant physical distance between the stars were clear indicators of tension. For example, renowned expert Judy James commented that their gestures and postures indicated deep mistrust, a behavior typical of individuals experiencing inner conflict or dissatisfaction with the situation on set. Furthermore, numerous publications in English language media have noted that the cancellation of the premiere was not solely driven by a desire to avoid negative reactions from critics and the press, but also as a strategic move by Disney to minimize damage ahead of the film's release on March 21st. Online discussions have even speculated that the film is already encountering issues related to changes in the script and alterations in the portrayals of the main characters. Some sources even claim that a budget of $250 million might end up being squandered if the conflict between the stars continues. But why, you may ask? Could such tension between the stars lead to the cancellation of such a high-profile event as the London premiere? The answer lies in the complex relationships within the team. According to fresh online reports, the conflict between Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot began long before filming started, when disagreements over the creative interpretation of the classic fairy tale first emerged. Both actresses were determined to assert their own vision for the film, and at some point their paths diverged to the extent that compromise became impossible. These disagreements, compounded by divergent political stances and personal beliefs, only intensified the conflict. Some analysts believe that the negative reception of Rachel Zegler might be connected to her outspoken remarks regarding the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, remarks that clearly did not sit well with many members of the public, especially in the USA, where political polarization is at an all-time high. Meanwhile, Gal Gadot, who has always preferred to steer clear of political debates, found herself unwillingly drawn into this controversy. At one recent event, where the actresses together announced the Oscar nominees, the audience noticed a distinct distance between them. Social media experts pointed out that such behavior might signal that the conflict has reached a critical point. In addition to the above, numerous online sources report that the situation surrounding Snow White continues to accumulate new details. For instance, on specialized film forums and blogs, there is widespread discussion that Disney is already taking steps to limit Rachel Zegler's appearances in future promotional materials, a move seen by many as an effort to mitigate the potential fallout from her involvement in the project. Meanwhile, Gal Gadot has been given the opportunity to take center stage in the marketing campaign, portraying an image of confidence and professionalism. As it turns out, the cancellation of the London premiere was not a random decision, but a carefully planned step to avoid any public incidents in front of the global community. After all, if the conflict between the stars were to be aired publicly, it could have serious repercussions for both the company's reputation and the overall reception of the film. In recent days, opinions online have been buzzing with speculation that this decision might actually benefit the film's marketing in the long run. After all, in today's digital age, any scandal, even a negative one, is bound to attract additional attention. It is also worth noting that in recent weeks, there have been numerous comments from American viewers on social media and news portals, all intrigued by the unfolding drama. Many users have remarked that the conflict between the stars resembles a modern reality TV show, where personal confrontations become the focal point of public discussion. If you haven't yet shared your opinion, please do so in the comments. Let us know whose side you're on, and don't forget to hit that like button so your voice is heard. For those interested in the finer details, it's important to add that in the wake of the cancelled London premiere, several experts are now predicting that the release of Snow White might face additional challenges at the box office. According to various online analysts, early signs point to a dip in audience expectations. Some sources even suggest that the changes made to the film might negatively impact its reception, which in turn could affect the project's overall future. On the other hand, it should be noted that in the digital age, any public drama quickly turns into viral content. Several popular American bloggers and celebrities have already weighed in on the situation, emphasizing that such conflicts between stars might signal the beginning of a new era in film marketing. After all, even negative publicity can draw attention. Attention being one of the most valuable commodities in today's media landscape. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, do so right away, because here is where you will be the first to know about the hottest news from the world of cinema. It should be emphasized that this kind of rivalry between stars is not an isolated incident in Hollywood history. Internet searches reveal that over the past few years there have been numerous cases where personal disagreements among actors have become public knowledge, subsequently influencing the marketing strategies of major studios. In the case of Snow White, all these factors have come together to form a complex mosaic where every detail matters. Social media, press reports, and even comments from celebrities all contribute to shaping the overall public perception of the project. Interestingly, according to the latest news from Popular Film Resources, Disney is already considering additional interviews and press conferences in an effort to clarify the situation. The company wants to convey to the audience that, despite the internal disagreements, work on the film is progressing full steam ahead, and that the creative conflict between the actresses is merely part of the process of creating a unique cinematic project. We have also discovered that many critics appreciate Disney's attempts to maintain control over the situation. After all, in a world where every piece of news is immediately followed by comments and memes, it is crucial to stay ahead of any potential crisis. Despite all the discussions and controversies, it is important to remember that art always evokes emotion, and every point of view has the right to exist. Ultimately, the conflict between Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot is just one aspect of the complex and multifaceted picture that Disney has created for its new project. If you share our opinion or have your own thoughts on the matter, please feel free to share them in the comments. Your feedback is very important to us. Let's circle back to some details of the incident. After Rachel Zegler began to speak openly about political issues, a veritable storm of online discussion erupted. Many users noted that such openness is rare among modern film stars, particularly when it involves a project with a huge budget and high expectations. At the same time, Gal Gadot, who has always maintained a more reserved and professional demeanor, found herself in a difficult position, forced to participate in a public dialogue where every word can be interpreted in various ways. According to information obtained from several reliable online sources, the conflict between the actresses gradually escalated into an open confrontation during one of the events where they appeared together. Viewers and journalists immediately noticed that there was no natural interaction between them. On the contrary, it seemed as though they were deliberately avoiding eye contact. Some analysts even speculated that this behavior might have been premeditated as a distraction from other issues related to the film's marketing. In this context, it is important to note that such incidents are not new to Hollywood. Celebrities from the USA and other countries often find themselves at the center of attention due to personal conflicts that soon become public knowledge. However, this time, the conflict between Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot carries special significance, as it touches not only on questions of professionalism, but also on sensitive topics of political opinion and interpersonal relations. If you'd like to keep up with all the details, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave your comments, as we will continue to track the evolution of these events. In addition to the discussion of personal relationships between the stars, it should be noted that the cancellation of the London premiere could also impact the future promotion of the film. Consequently, specialists have already begun predicting that the promotional campaign for Snow White might undergo significant changes. According to recent data published by several reputable online publications, Disney intends to reallocate funds for the marketing campaign to compensate for the potential damage caused by negative public perception. Many experts believe that this move could be the film's saving grace, as the ability to adapt and change strategies is key to success in today's competitive environment. It is also worth mentioning that in recent days there have been numerous articles analyzing the potential consequences of the conflict between the stars for the film's future. Some authors emphasize that the negative comments directed at Rachel Zegler could adversely affect not only her reputation, but also the overall perception of the project. In contrast, Gal Gadot, who has traditionally enjoyed strong support from fans due to her professionalism and charisma, might come out of this situation relatively unscathed if she manages to maintain her distance from the conflict-driven rhetoric. This is why many fans have already expressed the opinion that such confrontations could ultimately work in the studio's favor. After all, any public drama draws attention, and attention is one of the key factors for success in modern cinema. It should also be noted that in the American media landscape, in summary, the cancellation of the Snow White premiere has sparked a multitude of debates and discussions that have captured the attention of both movie fans and industry professionals. At the heart of these discussions lie not only the creative differences between the actresses, but also issues related to the influence of personal views on the perception of the film. Clearly, Disney has decided that, under the current circumstances, it is better to minimize public appearances and focus on internal work on the project. Some experts believe that this decision may prove wise, as it will help avoid further scandals and preserve the company's image in the global community. Amid all these events, only one question remains. How will the situation develop further? Will the conflict between Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot escalate into an open public feud that negatively impacts both the premiere and the film's future? Or will the parties find a way to ease their differences for the greater good? No official statements have been issued on this matter yet, but the active online discussion and expert commentary suggest that the conflict is far from over. If you live in the USA and keep up with Hollywood news, you will undoubtedly be interested in watching how these events unfold. We encourage you to stay tuned, subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss any important updates, and be sure to share your thoughts in the comments. Every reaction helps us create even more engaging and detailed content. Currently, the situation surrounding Snow White remains tense, and the internet is ablaze with discussions. As leading analysts point out, such conflicts can have far-reaching consequences for the film industry as a whole. In the age of social media, any personal dispute quickly becomes public knowledge, and its repercussions can influence future projects at the studio. We will continue to monitor the situation closely and update you with all the latest developments. Dear viewers, if you enjoyed our overview, please share it with your friends and leave your comments below the video. Your likes and subscriptions are the best motivation for us to keep working and delight you with the freshest and most interesting news from the world of cinema. Thank you for being with us, and see you next time